Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of Over the Top Talk. I'm your host, Owen, and today I'm welcoming on Kat Nelson. And if you guys aren't familiar with her, she fights over in the Dirty Boxing promotion. She just fought last Friday, got a huge win, her second win. How we doing today?
I am doing well. Yeah, I do. I am signed on a multi-fight deal with Dirty Boxing. I've also fought for Karate Combat, and I have some professional MMA fights as well.
Perfect. And just to kind of talk about that win you had on Friday, I noticed you smothered her in the corner in the second round. Was that did you kind of was that the game plan to kind of trap her in the corner along the ropes and smother her like you did?
Um, the game plan was to move forward and apply pressure. I actually was supposed to fight a UFC vet, Penny Kianzad, and she ended up pulling out about 3 weeks before the fight. And Dirty Boxing found me Kalindra, who I fought like maybe 2-3 days after Penny pulled out. The goal was to move forward and pressure as well with Penny. Same with Kalindra. But Kalindra just wasn't as technical as Penny, and I saw her last few fights once I knew she was my opponent, and I knew that she would kind of just wither away once I started putting it on her.
Yeah, and obviously when the opponents switch, how do you deal with the opponent switching? Now, I know you said the game plan was kind of the same no matter who the opponent was, but how do you kind of prepare to facing a new opponent?
So yeah, that was the good thing about switching opponents, was that for both I wanted to move forward and apply pressure. I think with the original opponent, I would have had to bend a little tighter, like my hands up higher. With Kalindra, I definitely didn't respect her power at all, and my hands.
Right. And I know you have two fights now over in that Dirty Boxing promotion. What's kind of been your favorite thing about this promotion specifically?
Well, the promotion itself is pretty professional. It's pretty high class. I guess there's celebrities that go there. I think Shaq was there. Um, Friday night, Nate Diaz. So there's a lot of people that step out to watch these fights, and then just the rule set is really cool. My background is in Taekwondo, so I kick. But with Dirty Boxing, it's only boxing, elbows, and clinch. And I've been practicing that for a couple years now. My coaches, especially my boyfriend, who is he mostly does like Muay Thai. We've been working on boxing and elbows for a while now.
Perfect. And how's your recovery process, would you say, after a fight like you just had?
So I'm actually in a sauna right now, but I do pretty well, I think, with recovery, and like I have the right people around me here in Orlando where I live. I have a few facilities that support me, and like we help each other grow. I go to a chiropractor, a physical therapist, a sports performance coach, who helps me with just my mobility and flexibility. I have access to sauna, cold plunge, hot tub, hyperbaric chamber, etc. So I do pretty well with my recovery all the time, and especially after my fights.
Awesome. And when it comes to making weight, do you kind of have like the same routine you go through before you have to make weight?
Yeah, I also have a nutritionist, and he also specializes in weight cutting. So, um, yeah, we just kind of I start dieting down once I have a fight. I get to a certain number that I have to be at within a certain amount of time. Fight week, I have to be a certain number on the scale before I actually do the water cut. Not gonna lie, this past cut was a little tough. I was actually point 0.2 over, and they give you an hour to be on weight. So I took that hour. I cut point 0.4, so I was on weight after that. But yeah, weight cutting, I pretty much do the same thing every weight cut, and it's been working for me.
Awesome. And I was kind of just taking a peek through your Instagram. I saw you got to do a, training session with Charles Oliveira. How was that experience over there in his gym?
So yeah, that was back in May. I was supposed to fight in Brazil. Unfortunately, my opponent didn't even show up to the weigh-ins, so she pulled out. But while I was there, I was training at Chute Box. So it was during Charles' camp when he was training for Ilya, and it was great. They were filming the embedded and all that stuff, and he's a super super humble guy, definitely the leader of the pack over there, and there's a reason why he's been a champ multiple times, and I got to see it in real life.
And kind of out of all the people you've got to train with, or people in general that you've trained with, who's been kind of your favorite person to work with and train with?
um, I mean, nothing beats like my teammates, of course. But if we're talking about like people that are up there already in the UFC, I would have to say Valentina, Bullet Valentina. I trained with her a while ago. I was still an amateur, but she was definitely my favorite, I guess, because I also like really look up to her. But she was just the nicest person I've met. And then when it comes to training and fighting, she's just a savage. Kind of like me. I'm really quiet, and then when it's time to fight, that's when I like really let go.
Awesome. And what would you say maybe your favorite cheat meal would be?
Oh man. Um Dang. I don't know. I really like noodles and Asian food, and I would say like Korean barbecue or hot pot.
And what's maybe your some of your favorite music to listen to while you train?
Okay, so I guess I guess depending on the mood, like the mood I'm in, it's something hype like rap. Um I walked out to G Unit 50 Cent for my fight on Friday, so like stuff like that. I'm not a gangster, but that type of gangster like music gets me hyped.
And if you could choose like any fighter to train and work with, who would that fighter be?
um well, I already named like people outside of my gym and in the UFC, so let's go inside my gym. Um let's go with Joe, actually, who you're going to see on next Friday in Cage Titans. His style is very weird, but the past two dirty boxing fights I've had, I've trained with him, and he's helped me out a lot with preparing for those fights. He also is a wrestler, so when it comes to MMA fights, he's very beneficial for me as well. And we just get along. We're around the same size, so I think we match up pretty well when we train and help each other prepare.
And I'm looking forward to seeing Joe next Friday, I think it is. Obviously, Cage Times, they run a great promotion over in Mass, so definitely looking forward to that. But do you follow any other sports kind of outside of combat fighting?
uh, not really. Not really. I know like of other athletes. Actually I'm in a sauna right now at the Draft Academy in Winter Park, Florida, and Gabe Davis owns it. He's a football player. I think right now he is not signed to a team, but like I know and I'm associated with other professional athletes, but I don't honestly I don't keep up with other sports.
And do you have, any other like hobbies or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I like to read. I like I like plants. I don't have a garden, but I have a lot of plants. I love animals. I have a zoo at my house. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And just I train all the time, so right now like I just finished fighting. I'm no longer in fight camp, so I'm just trying to take care of my body, go out to eat, do things that I don't normally get to do. Um, but yeah.
And, kind of tagging along that, what does your like dream rest day look like?
I guess it's a vacation. I just need a vacation somewhere. Not in Orlando. Maybe like go on a cruise and not think about anything, eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want. Don't have to make my bed. Just relax.
And if you weren't a, fighter, what career path do you think you'd be on?
That's actually really tough because I've been in martial arts since I was like 3 years old. So I was really born and raised into martial arts. Um, I do think I'd be some other type of athlete. I'm not sure which sport. Or I am, currently in school studying digital marketing. So maybe I'd be doing something like that. But I cannot picture myself at a full time 9 to 5 job. I'm very happy that this is my career.
Awesome. And what piece of advice would you maybe hand to someone that would like to get into fighting or any type of martial art?
So a lot of people like MMA has keeps evolving and it's kind of like a cool thing to do, but I just want to say that it's not cool. Like if you don't have any martial arts background and you want to come into an MMA gym and just fight, like that's not how it happens. It takes years to develop skills and grow your talent. And this is a combat sport. Like people have died from this, and people get seriously hurt and injured from this. So take it slow. Take it slow. Maybe try like one art first before you just try to dive into MMA. I think that definitely helped me coming from a traditional martial arts background going into MMA. it definitely helped excel, you know, my career. Um, but yeah, this is not cool or cute. Like, this is a combat sport and people get hurt. So don't just jump into it thinking it's cool and that you're gonna beat someone's ass. Like, you have to develop skill and learn how to actually fight first.
Perfect. And that's all the questions I have for today. But do you want to kind of tell everyone where they can find you, whether that's social media or maybe talk about anything you have coming up? I know you said you're not in fight camp, but where can the people find you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly active on Instagram at Lights Out Nelson. That's just kind of where I promote myself and my fights and my training. I, like I said before, I'm signed with Dirty Boxing on a multi-fight deal, so you'll see me in Dirty Boxing again for sure. But I'm also able to fight in MMA while I'm on this multi-fight deal, which is why I signed with them, because they're giving me that um, leeway to fight in MMA, because they know my ultimate goal is to get into the UFC. So yeah, maybe an MMA fight next before the next Dirty Boxing match, but we'll see what happens because it's hard for me to get an opponent.
Yeah, and like I always tell fighters, I appreciate all you guys for coming on. You guys help, make this podcast what it is. So I appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
And for everyone watching, I'll put her socials down below. Make sure to follow Over the Top Talk. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can find podcasts. And make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody.